that the chief investment of the slave is his time. فَإِن صَرَفَهَا, so if he wastes it, فِيمَا لَا نَعْنِيهِ, in doing those things that don't concern him, وَلَمْ يُدَخِّرْ بِهِ ثَوَابًا فِي الْآخِرَةِ, and doesn't take and utilize his time to store up with his time a reward in the hereafter, فَقَدَ ضَيَّعَ رَأْسَ مَالِهِ, he's wasted his chief investment. He's wasted his best thing that he got going for him. وَلِذَلِكَ قَالَ اللَّهُ سُبْحَانَهُ وَتَعَالَى, and for that reason Allah the Most High has said, لَا خَيْرَ, no good whatsoever. فِي كَثِيرٍ مِّن نَجْوَاهُمْ, there's no good whatsoever in most of your private conversations. Dig that. إِلَّا مَنْ أَمَرَ بِصَدَقَةٍ أَوْ مَعْرُوفٍ أَوْ إِصْلَاحٍ بَيْنَ النَّاسِ, except إِلَّا مَنْ أَمَرَ بِصَدَقَةٍ, someone who is commanding or encouraging someone else to do some charity, to give of himself, not necessarily monetarily, okay? Sadaqatin. Aw ma'rufin. Ma'ruf is two meanings. The linguistic meaning is easily recognizable as good. Okay, that's what ma'ruf is. Urf. That's why it's easily recognizable. Meaning that culture recognize, that's what the word urf, and urful yuhkam. People's culture is used to determine a ruling on something. It's one of the 5 great rules of fiqh. Okay? So it says ma'ruf, what is easily recognizable as good. But it is also a term. As a term, ma'ruf means the sharia, means Islamic law. When Allah says, kuntum khayran ummatin ukhrijat linnas ta'muruna bil ma'ruf. What is ma'ruf there? That is the sharia. وَتَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ وَتُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ. Right? And you forbid people to do the munkar, the haram. Those things you don't recognize to be ma'ruf. Well, good. So, أَمَرَ بِالصَّدَقَةٍ أَوْ مَعْرُوفٍ, telling somebody to do something according to the sharia. Right? According to Islam. أَوْ إِصْلَاحٍ بَيْنَ النَّاسِ, or making islaha, rectification between the people, which includes counseling people, which includes teaching people. You get the point? Yeah. This is all those types of education and da'wah, those things fall under islah. Those are the only things your conversation should be. So, he said, instead of arguing, what you should have been doing is working together to figure out how to phrase the question. See, so now we don't waste our time fighting. I'm trying to prove to you why my situation, my stance is this, and you're trying to prove to me. And then at the end of it, we still have to go to a third party for guidance. Then we say, well, what's the question? What are we trying to ask? What is the question? Now, we can cooperate in that, right? And say, well, the question is this. And now we go to the sheikh and ask the sheikh the actual question and get some guidance that way. That makes sense? Yes. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. The Chinese say that one hour with a scholar beats 50 years of reading on your own. And even though that's an exaggeration maybe, but it's true at the same sense that, reading on your own, it is water under the bridge, okay? And even in that, you shouldn't do it without the guidance of your teacher. When I went to go study hadith, Sheikh's name is Salahuddin Abdul Mawjud. You probably see him now in the books. You see most of the books that give you the biographies of the people of the past, the muhaddithin of the past in English, they're written by Salahuddin Abdul Mawjud. Okay? And why wouldn't it be? Since he's a muhaddith. And that's their subject, to do the biographies like that. A lot of them, almost all of them from Dar es-Salaam come from Salahuddin. They translated a lot of his book. And then yes, Salabi has the other 2 people have written in that regard. So he would not allow us. We're in the library. We're doing an internship there. There are books all the way up to the ceiling, all the way around, everywhere you turn. He wouldn't allow us to touch his books, except the ones he told us to touch. We couldn't peruse and flip through. No, because you don't know why I have those books there. You're on this particular level, and you're on this level, then you need to study these particular books. Okay? And the same thing, every time I would see Shaykh Muhammad Salam, I would go to the city and come back with some books. He says, what you got there? And he would go and pull it out. He says, oh, why are you reading this? You're not at this level yet. If you have so much free time on yourself, then you need to go finish the work I gave you. Okay? You're not finished. The little thin book. You know how long it took to get the hardcover books, to volumes books, because we had to read so many of the paperback ones that were the Mabadi, the beginner books. And so I said, I'm getting it for when I finish. Who said you're going to finish? Okay? Inshallah, you get to finish. Okay, and this was the way. Another sheikh who did us like that, Sheikh Abdul Azim Badawi in Egypt, in Sheen, the village Sheen. That's why the Americans left him. You know, like the month before I was there in Egypt, and he's Abdul Azim Badawi, he's the #1 student of Shaykh al-Albani. He's the imam for all the students of Albani. Okay, he was leading the salah and giving the khutbah when Albani was around. Albani told him, you know, Egypt needs you more than you need me. Don't come back to my halaqah no more. That's how he kicked him out of there. You know, which is a great way to get kicked out, right? So, you know, and still today, since Albani's gone, the students of Albani always surround him and seek him. So before I got there, a bunch of Americans went there and they wanted to, you know, study, but they had the Khalij in their head. They had Saudi Arabia on their brain and Kuwait. They used to going to places and big spread of food and all this other stuff like that. So they got there in Ramadan and they thought that the Tulab were going to get a bunch of food and everything at the end. So the Sheikh said, oh, you guys, what are you guys? What are you? Are you a Za'ir? And this is something a lot of Westerners don't know. If you come as a visitor, they'll treat you different if you come as a Talib al-Ilm. Okay? If you come as a Talib al-Ilm, that means you are now a servant. Okay? You're a servant. You do the khidmah of the Sheikh, whatever he needs. You fix his roof if you have to. Okay? So that we can get things done. And he needs a lot of stuff done. You just ask his wife. And we may have to ask her, she'll tell you. The wives of Sheikhs will tell you, who are you guys? You guys are Tulab? Yes. Come over here and do this, that, and everything. Y'all waiting for a lesson? And that's the life. But a lot of Westerners are not used to that. Okay? Their clothes are too clean. It's not set up to sit on the ground and wait. You know, like that. I never understood that. Your clothes are too clean for you to sit down and wait? Then you got the wrong type of clothes. Does that make sense? Yes. Function first. So these guys came, and the Sheikh said to them, what are you? They said, Nahnu Tulab, we are Tulab al-Ilm. He says, great. You guys come over here to spend Ramadan with me? They said, Naam, Sheikh, we with you. And so they're thinking, oh man, this is going to be food, right? He says, okay, good. Get those plates. Serve it to those people over here. They started serving the plates to the people. They were like, okay. And then it worked. And it continued to work. Okay? Then after the finishing, feeding all the people, he said, okay, now wash those plates. And they said, what's up with us? So we said, what about us eating? Just get what you can get. You know, get what you can get while we doing the khidmah. And then they finish around like 3 in the morning. You know, all because it's a village. It's not like us, we have a small plate, a small pot. You know, these pots are, you know, big, looking like truck tires. You know? It's huge, you know, the inside of the truck tire I'm talking about. And these big old huge pots and stuff like that. So as everybody's eating together, you know, we eat like really like miskin because we got this little bitty pot only serving our small family. And we're not feeding our neighbors and everything like that. Okay? So those guys were upset. That the next day was like, man, we only got a few hours sleep. And the Sheikh said, he noticed their attitude. What's wrong with you guys? I thought you guys said you were Tulab al-Ilm. Yeah, Sheikh, we thought you was going to give us the host. Like, now they're going to teach the Sheikh how to host them. When they were in Egypt, they weren't in Saudi, so the Egyptian Sheikhs are a lot stronger. They'll call you a punk in a minute. They're tough. They're some tough shiuk. And their level of knowledge is higher in a lot of instances than the Saudi shiuk. They just don't have the money to get the famousness of them. And they're not taking down the shiuk in Saudi. They have a whole society set up to help those shiuk. I'm just saying that the ones in Egypt aren't given the credit that they deserve. Okay? The credit that they really deserve. In fact, as a proof of it, there is no university, we have this as a statement, there's no Islamic university anywhere in the world that is not filled with Egyptian scholars. And usually they're the head of the departments. Anybody who's been around knows that. Be it in Malaysia, Indonesia, Russia, anywhere, the Egyptians are in there. Okay? That's a credit to the level of knowledge and expertise they have. They are experts in whatever they do. Just look at the Quran. Who are you reciting from? most of the Quran that we recite from are Egyptians. Right? Most of all the ones you listen to, whether you know it or not, are Egyptians. And it's the exception to get a non-Egyptian. Okay? Now everybody's getting to hear the Sudanese Qira'ah, which brothers got flutes in their mouth. You know, it's awesome. You know, but we've had that in Mauritania for a while, so we're accustomed to it. But I'm glad that it's getting more exposure, because that's the Qira'ah that I grew up on. You know, alhamdulillah, Sudanese style. Alhamdulillah, the Zawiyah. Okay, the Khalwa, right? The Khalwa. Alhamdulillah. Anyway, the Zawiyah, right? You know, so what do you call it? The Shaykh kicked them out the village. He said, listen, if you guys have come to study, right? You can sit down and study. Have any of you guys, because they said, oh, we want to study Minhaj, we want to study Hadith. He said, have any of you guys finished Quran? They said, no. He said, okay. He came in the mess and I got these guys over here. These are all Hafiz Quran. I'll assign each one of you one guy. And when you finish Quran, then you can come on this side of the room, this side of the masjid, and study fiqh, hadith and everything. They said, Anta shadid. You're shadid. You're too severe. Strong. You're not from Ahli Sunnah. And they left. Alhamdulillah. So when I came, the Shaykh says, oh, another one. I said, well, I didn't know what had happened. So then they told me when it happened and everything like that. And he said, I'm going to take you on personally. I'm not even going to, you came here. I'm so sick of you Westerner guys. You come to me every morning for reciting Quran, right? If you stand up after the Fajr and have to finish your Salah, no lesson. Okay? Get it? If you're late for Fajr to the point you have to stand up and finish the extra rakah, you don't get a lesson that day. If that happens 3 times, you're out of here. Because it's his village. His brother Uthman, he's the one that gets you the apartment. It was only $50 for I had 2 apartments, two houses, one right next to each other. $50. But you missed the Salah 3 times for Fajr, you don't get a class, you miss 3 classes, you're out of the village. You don't come in here reciting less than a page. Waste my time. Okay? Well, alhamdulillah, but it was the best thing that happened, because then I got to recite directly from the Shaykh and recite more than half the Quran, because to finish off with the Shaykh, alhamdulillah. Now that gives me a sense of dignity and honor that I got it directly from Shaykh Abdul-Adim Bedu, and he's a mufassir, a scholar of Tafseer. So it was, it's always coming up, because he can't help himself. He's going to tell you what it means. It's doing that. So alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. And that was the way that I got to get into sit with that particular Shaykh in that regard. The point is that the ulama usually hold their students to a higher standard. They hold them by a short leash, okay, in some of these areas. And that's good for the student, because you get more done quicker, if that makes sense. And if you do it your way, you'll go all around the world and not focus. When the Shaykh would see me in the masjid, and there would be some other class, he would say, he called me Abu Ayyub, because my son was born here. Ayyub. Yeah, Abu Ayyub, why are you here? If you have more energy, then memorize more. If you finish full for memorization, because sometimes you get full, then muraja'ah, then do your review. But get out of here until you finish the Quran. A talibul ilm will finish the Quran first. Was that's the way it is. That's what do you call it, hazing? The people have to go through that whole process. That's your initiation. That's the term. That's your initiation. Finish the Quran. One Shaykh told me, Abdulaziz C, rahimahullah. He was the judge in Mauritania, judge of the capital. He told me one time when we first came, we said, we want to follow you. Me and the other brother, Saiful Islam. We went to go talk to him. And he said, normally, I don't let anyone in this room that's not a Hafiz of the Quran. Y'all come in my face talking that stuff? Because we said, no, we had to learn the language. We thought we were, we know the lugha. We went and learned Alfiyat ibn Malik, we can recite the Quran, the poetry of Jahiliyyah, you know what I'm saying? But he's like, man, you think, he said, he's an African. He said, listen, we said to him, look, we had to learn what it means, to go, first. He said, you think we knew what it meant? when we learned it. Rather, it's an issue of iman. It's an issue of commitment, what he's saying. You learn how to sit down, right? You learn how to listen. You learn to be patient to see what your Lord has said to you. And then you spend the rest of your life trying to bring that into your reality. Another sheikh said it's like you in a diamond mine. You don't shine the diamond when you got it halfway out the wall, do you?
No.
Nah, you just get it out of there first. Your recitation, sometimes I see the Westerners, everybody wants to recite like Abdul Basit, but they're not finished the Quran. Now you beautify it afterwards. Some of the things that the ulama allow you to get away with qira'ah, you'd be amazed. You say, man, you let that guy slide? Yes. Because he's trying to get to memorization. After he memorized it, now it's going to fix it up, And that may take a longer time. But he got it memorized. We make the people who have not been hufad, they make it harder on the people to memorize than the people who have ijazah in it. That's what I have seen. And by doing so, they run people away from it and make people think it's only a myth. It's a fairy tale. I want to memorize Quran, but I guess I never will. Because I can't do that yet. You get it? But who made that standard like that? They did, not the teachers. So we have to go to the teachers, those people who are qualified, and you'll see how easy they make it, the route, okay? Easy they make the route. And if we would just learn the lesson from Surah Al-Kahf and be quiet and follow the teacher, right? Right? What did Khadr do?
Yeah,
he wanted to nazar, right? And Khadr taught him a lesson. Listen, you ask questions when I give you permission to ask questions. That's so we have a hustle like that, right? So alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, these are some of the benefits about being in the environment. A lot of people say, but what did you learn from this sheikh? What did you learn from that sheikh? Some of the stuff I don't have to think about it to remember what I learned from them. Why? Because the thing that is more impacting what I learned from them was character, was the legacy. Okay? That was the most impacting thing. Now the other stuff was the visa. That's all. And then afterwards you learn other stuff that on top of that and some of that you find that there was a mistake there. It's all right. So let's get busy because now I don't want to lose our momentum here. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. We're doing Surah An'am. And Surah An'am is one of the most sober surahs in the Quran. In this surah, we learn our aqeedah. And the reason why it comes here is, like I said earlier, that some things take a moment for us to get ready for. So we learned how to ask for dua, how to ask for guidance. We learned the step-by-step approach to the guidance and what the guidance was. Then we learned that we taught how to struggle to be firm on that guidance. Then we learned the importance of society and our roles in the society. Then we learned, look, we got to keep our word, right? In order to make this thing happen. And then we get to the point where it says, now, how come? What's this all for? Allah. Now we can sit down and talk about Allah and the qadr of Allah and the might of Allah and the decree and the way Allah has designed. And I'm using particular English words because I understand the need to understand this thing from a linguistic perspective. Okay? So don't think that I'm saying any words just out my mouth. When I say the qadr of Allah, I mean the way Allah designed things to work. How He created it. What He has decided for us to have. Come a little closer, guys. So let's get started. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنما يستجيب الذين يسمعون والموت يبعثهم الله ثم إليه يرجعون. The fact of the matter is, we're on page 132, top of the page. The fact of the matter is, the only ones that will respond to you are those who are able to hear. Allah is giving us an example, saying us through a parable that those that can hear are those people who accept Islam and have Iman. Those people who are dead, they're not physically dead, they're like the living dead because they have no Iman. وَالْمَوْتَ يَبْعَثُهُمُ اللَّهُ, and Allah will resurrect the dead, and they will return to Him to be questioned. وَقَالُوا لَوْلَا نُزِّلَ عَلَيْهِ آيَةٌ مِّن رَبِّهِ, and they're going to say, and they say, why isn't an ayah revealed from their Lord when they want it to be done? قُلْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ قَادِرٌ عَلَىٰ أَن يُنَزِّلَ آيَةً وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرَهُمْ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. Say, the fact of the matter is Allah is fully capable of sending down an ayah whenever and however He wants. However, most of them don't know that the ayah is going to be against them. Okay? That the ayah is going to be something that destroys them. وَمَا مِن دَابَّةٍ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَلَا طَائِرٍ يَطِيرُ بِجَنَاحَيْهِ إِلَّا أُمَمٌ أَمْثَالُكُمْ. And Allah is saying there's not a creature crawling on the planet, not a bird with any wings flying or any creature flapping its wings in the sky, except that it is in communities just like you. This is important for us to understand that everything has order. Every group and every creature has order and design. Again, what's the objective? To understand the might and the qadr, the design of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the greatness of that. Why? Because of Allah is so detailed and so meticulous in making communities with organized laws of ants. Right? With one emir. Right? And flies and all this stuff. Then what about us? It puts us in order too. مَا فَرَّطْنَا فِي الْكِتَابِ مِنْ شَيْءٍ. We have not left anything out. We have not been deficient in mentioning any important matter in this book. ثُمَّ إِلَىٰ رَبِّهِمْ يُحْشَرُونَ. Then to their Lord all of them are returned. Meaning everything, even the bugs, everyone is going to be questioned and gathered together and asked what they did if they lived by the laws of Allah. وَالَّذِينَ كَذَّبُوا بِآيَاتِنَا صُمٌّ وَبُكْمٌ فِي الظُّلُمَاتِ مَنْ يَشَاءِ اللَّهُ يُضْلِلْهُ وَمَنْ يَشَاء يَجْعَلْهُ عَلَى صِرَاطٍ مُسْتَقِيمٍ. وَالَّذِينَ كَذَّبُوا, and those who disbelieve in the ayat, those who call the ayat, the signs of Allah, a lie. What did he say? Summun wa bukmun. Like I said, he's describing them as deaf and dumb. Okay? Why? Because they can't speak the truth. So they're bukmun, they can't talk. Because if you ain't saying the truth, you ain't saying. A lie only exists in this dimension. It doesn't exist in the next world. Physically, a lie is nothing. If a mother tells her child, here goes some milk, and she's lying, and that baby goes to get the milk, that baby knows that lie is nothing, right? And it can't grow. Its satiation will not come from hunger. But the metaphysical lie, the verbal lie, it's also nothing. But it's worse than the physical lie because you won't even know that it's nothing. And you think you've gotten something, you still have nothing. How many people think they're grown, but they're mentally still children because they haven't got the right food to grow mentally? Does that make sense?
Yes.
So a lie only exists in this world. In the hereafter, lies don't exist. They're in darkness, blind. So summun, bukmun, they're dumb, deaf, and in darkness, blind. Whoever Allah decides, He will mislead them. And whoever Allah decides, He puts them on Sirat al-Mustaqim, the path that is straight and will straighten you out. Again, they're showing you this is the qadr of Allah. You're a believer because Allah allowed you to become a believer. Because Allah put you on Sirat al-Mustaqim. So praise Allah and grateful to Allah for that. قُلْ أَرَأَيْتَكُمْ إن أتاكم عذاب الله أو أتتكم الساعة أغير الله تدعون إن كنتم صادقين. We got to take the last part. إن كنتم صادقين. If you're truthful, if you want to be honest. You know, we say that honestly. Yeah. If you want to be honest, see Allah saying, if you would just be truthful, if you would just be honest, then answer this question. Ara'aytakum, didn't I tell you this about how you see things? Alright, don't you all see? Right? One of y'all see? If Allah gave you a punishment, or the hour came, if there was some musibah you was under, some hardship you was under, or the hour came, who would you call on besides Allah if you really honest? Guess what? That's what's in kuntum sadiqeen. Allah says, بَلْ إِيَّاهُ تَدْعُونَ فَيَكْشِفُ مَا تَدْعُونَ إِلَيْهِ إِن شَاءَ وَتَنْسَوْنَ مَا تُشْرِكُونَ. Rather, of course, you would call on إِيَّاهُ, only Allah. And He would relieve you of whatever problems you had if He wants. Again, this is the Mashiatullah. Okay? What Allah wants. Yani, and you would forget all those things you made shirk with. No time to think about that in the heat of the moment, right? You're just going to think about what's real, and that's Allah. وَلَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا إِلَىٰ أُمَمٍ مِّن قَبْلِكَ فَأَخَذْنَاهُم بِالْبَأْسَاءِ وَالضَّرَّاءِ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَضَرَّعُونَ. Sometimes people ask me, why does Allah let bad things happen to us? Allah tells you right here. The reason why, listen, of course, Wallahi, I send to you, to umamin. I've already sent to many different peoples that came before you, nations. And I sent to them al-ba'sa'i wal-darra'i, hardship after hardship, difficulties and trials. Why? So that they can humble themselves. So sometimes something bad happens to us so that we can reflect and get ourselves back in the right position. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? فَلَوْلَا إِذْ جَاءَهُمْ بَأْسُنَا تَضَرَّعُوا. If only then, that when the hardship came to them, they would have just been humble. They would have just tadarra'u. And tadarra'u is a type of term that means in asking. You know, been humble themselves and started at tadarra'u fi du'a. Oh Allah, help me. Okay? ولكن قست قلوبهم وزين لهم الشيطان ما كانوا يعملون. Dig it. He says, however, قست قلوبهم, their hearts became hard. They became bitter, right? Hard-hearted. Where is the battle?
The hearts.
In the hearts, right? Over and over again, there's consistency in this message. Their hearts became hard. And because their hearts became hard, they were unable to become humble, tender-hearted, and return to the truth. The Prophet said there is a morsel of flesh. If it's sound and healthy, then the whole body is sound and healthy, right? Ala wa huwa al-qalb. It's the heart. Then he says, وَزَيَّنَ لَهُمُ الشَّيْطَانُ مَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. And Shaitan made it attractive to them what they were doing. Look at these people. They now have homosexuality, saying it's lawful for a man to marry another man. And they think this is attractive. Animals don't do it. Animals don't do it. But something has told them in their mind that this is become good seeming to them. Right? Not getting married has become attractive to them. Yet we see all the problems that come with not having a family. But it doesn't click. Right? Shaitan has made it attractive, and we see here that this is the main thing that Shaitan does. He gives them desires, makes things attractive, and then people ruin the fitrah of Allah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. فلما نسوا ما ذكروا به فتحنا عليهم أبواب كل شيء حتى إذا فرحوا بما أوتوا أخذناهم بغتة فإذا هم مبلسون. So then when they forgot what we had reminded them of this message, and we have to look at times now, people are becoming less mindful. Listen what Allah is saying and think about your children. Allah is saying that when they forgot what we had reminded them of, ذُكِّرُوا بِهِ, what? Al-Adhab, Al-Jannah, Allah, the angels, the deen. And then we look at our children, we ask them, they are not as knowledgeable about these things anymore. Okay? And we know we've told them, but they forgot. So we have to do something different to make it attractive and make it well sitting with them. Because when they forget, and if we forget, Allah says, فَتَحْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ أَبْوَابَ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ. He gave them everything, all types of luxuries. Okay? Until they were happy with what they had. Well, we got it made, we making money, right? I got the fast, nice car, I got the house, I got everything, got nice digs, all this stuff. Then all of a sudden, Baghdad, and Allah takes them. Takes them for account, and they're going to be having to suffer for that. فَقُطِيَ دَابِرُ الْقَوْمِ الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا وَالْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. And so they'll be cut off the ends of the people who did oppression, who were extremists. And extremism doesn't just mean, what they show on TV. An extremist is someone who doesn't tell their child or cause their child to dress like a Muslim till they're like 13 years old. Now you want to wrestle them down and put a heavy wool khimar on a girl. You want to put a shirt on, and they haven't gotten a chance to get used to that over those 13 years. That's an extremist. Okay? Things have to be done in an age-appropriate manner. Teaching the children at different times. This is a type of extremism. But then every time they bring home Bobby or some other person, now we want to run and do something else. Kill the girl now. Right? That was the thing in the 80s. Guys would let their daughters do anything. Then when they come home with a cabin, they do this honorable dignity murder.
Honor killing.
You remember those things?
Yeah, honor killing.
Honor killing. Means if you want to kill somebody, he should have killed himself. He's the one that bought her those clothes. Right? قُلْ أَرَأَيْتُمْ إِنْ أَخَذَ اللَّهُ سَمْعَكُمْ وَأَبْصَارَكُمْ وَخَتَمَ عَلَى قُلُوبِكُمْ مَنْ إِلَٰهٌ غَيْرُ اللَّهِ يَأْتِيكُمْ بِهِ انظُرْ كَيْفَ نُصَرِّفُ الْآيَاتِ ثُمَّ هُمْ يَصْدِفُونَ. Allah says, look, say to them, don't you all see? Again, I'm pointing out the time that says say, I'm pointing out the time that tells you to see. Because aqidah means your worldview, how you see the world, what your reality is. And this sort of is just proof after proof, because Allah is saying, you look at how you see this thing. Correct your worldview, correct your vision. He says, well, don't you all see? If Allah took your hearing, He took your sight, and He sealed your hearts, which God, name Him, besides Allah, would give it back to you? Don't you see how we give you these ayats in so many different ways? We give it one angle and another way for you to see these signs, and then you still becoming rebellious and resisting? قُلْ أَرَأَيْتَكُمْ إِنْ أَتَاكُمْ عَذَابُ اللَّهِ بَغْتَةً أَوْ جَهْرَةً هَلْ يُهْلَكُ إِلَّا الْقَوْمُ الظَّالِمُونَ. Say, see this, picture this. If the punishment of Allah came all of a sudden, or out loud, it became apparent for all to see, who would be destroyed except for the people who were zalimun, except for the people who were wrongdoers? Why? Because Allah doesn't punish people wrongly, unjustly. وَمَا نُرْسِلُ الْمُرْسَلِينَ إِلَّا مُبَشِّرِينَ وَمُنذِرِينَ. And Allah says that I have not sent the messengers except to give glad tidings and to warn. فَمَنْ آمَنَ وَأَصْلَحَ فَلَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ. So whoever believes and corrects himself, then he has nothing to fear, And he has nothing to be sad about. وَالَّذِينَ كَذَّبُوا بِآيَاتِنَا يَمَسُّهُمُ الْعَذَابُ بِمَا كَانُوا يَفْسُقُونَ. And those who denied and called the ayat of Allah a lie, then when the punishment touches them, it's only going to touch them because of what the open sinning that they did, the blatant fisk that they committed. قُلْ لَا أَقُولُ لَكُمْ عِنْدِي خَزَائِنُ اللَّهِ وَلَا أَعْلَمُ الْغَيْبَ وَلَا أَقُولُ لَكُمْ إِنِّي مَلَكٌ إِنْ أَتَّبِعُ إِلَّا مَا يُوحَى إِلَيَّ قُلْ هَلْ يَسْتَوِي الْأَعْمَى وَالْبَصِيرُ أَفَلَا تَتَفَكَّرُونَ. Allah says, say, I'm not saying to you that I have the treasures of Allah, secrets or powers, okay? And I'm not saying that I know the secrets of the unseen. And I'm not saying that I'm an angel. What I am saying is that I follow what has been revealed to me. Say, are the two equal? The blind and the seeing? Remember I mentioned in the beginning when we started? He mentions them as blind and seeing, as dead and alive, right? Hearing and deaf. He says, are the blind and the seeing the same? Don't you think? وَأَنذِرْ بِهِ الَّذِينَ يَخَافُونَ أَن يُحْشَرُوا إِلَى رَبِّهِمْ لَيْسَ لَهُم مِّن دُونِهِ وَلِيٌّ وَلَا شَفِيعٌ لَيْسَ لَهُم مِّن دُونِهِ وَلِيٌّ وَلَا شَفِيعٌ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَّقُونَ. And warn the people with the Quran, those people who are fearful about being gathered up and taken to their Lord, meaning those people who are worried about meeting Allah on the last day, who believe in the last day. They will have for them no one besides Allah as a protector and intercessor. لَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَّقُونَ. So perhaps by telling them, warning them, they would gain taqwa. Remember in the very beginning I told you guys, I said, look, Allah's going to tell us activities. If we did them, it would encourage us to do more ibadah. This is what we find. لَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَّقُونَ is one of those ayat. Do this and they will be able to have taqwa. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it says, وَلَا تَتُرُدِ الَّذِينَ يَدْعُونَ رَبَّهُمْ بِالْغَدَاةِ وَالْعَشِيِّ يُرِيدُونَ وَجْهَهُ. And don't run away those people who make dua to their Lord, who pray to their Lord in the early mornings and in the evening time. They're seeking for the face of Allah, the pleasure of Allah. Meaning, don't look down at people who come and they may not be wealthy. They may not be as clean and have nice clothes. Don't run them away. Their lives may be jacked up in the apparent sense. You're just able to hide your jacked up stuff better. Okay? But don't run them away. And we see that in the masajid a lot. The running away of people. Because they may have some open problem that they're not ashamed before us because they know that Allah knows what their situation is. And we're supposed to be curing and helping these people, and we treat them like lepers. And Allah tells us here, don't run those people away. مَا عَلَيْكَ مِنْ حِسَابِهِمْ مِنْ شَيْءٍ وَمَا مِنْ حِسَابِكَ عَلَيْهِمْ مِنْ شَيْءٍ فَتَطْرُدَهُمْ فَتَكُونَ مِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ. And he tells us, you ain't going to carry none of their sins on your hisab, on your account, and they ain't going to carry none of your sins. But having them around ain't going to hurt you. Ain't like something going to fall off and now you're going to have to carry their weight. For you to have a reason to run them away. But if you did run them away, know that you are now a zalim, an extremist. You are oppressing someone. فَكَذَلِكَ فَتَنَّا بَعْضَهُم بِبَعْضٍ لِيَقُولُوا أَهَؤُلَاءِ مَنَّ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِمْ مِنْ بَيْنِنَا أَلَيْسَ اللَّهُ بِأَعْلَمَ بِالشَّاكِرِينَ. And likewise, we test people, some of them with others. Meaning Allah uses us to test each other. Okay? That's what we're here for. We're testing each other. We're putting each other's lives as part of a fitna. And some people are going to say, liyaqulu, so they could say, are these people Allah has blessed over us, between us, they giving them? These people getting some blessings over me? Alaysa Allah, doesn't Allah know best who will be grateful? Sometimes we look at other people and say, why are they getting that blessing? Right? Why are they getting that blessing? I deserve that. Allah says, doesn't He know best who is going to be the most grateful or who's going to be grateful? He knows who would give His stuff. It's His business, not ours. And we are quick to tell people to get out of our business. Right? We'll even tell our wives, get out of our business. Right? My house.
Mind your own.
Mind your own. Stay in your lane. Da'ni wa sha'ni. Right? That's what we say. So, we need to stay out of Allah's business. Right? وَإِذَا جَاءَكَ الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِآيَاتِنَا فَقُلْ سَلَامٌ عَلَيْكُمْ كَتَبَ رَبُّكُمْ عَلَى نَفْسِهِ الرَّحْمَةِ أَنَّهُ مَنْ عَمِلَ مِنْكُمْ سُوءًا بِجَهَالَةٍ ثُمَّ تَابَ مِنْ بَعْدِهِ وَأَصْلَحَ فَأَنَّهُ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. How many times does He say غَفُورٌ Rahim? How many times I pointed this word out to you guys? غَفُورٌ Rahim. A lot of times. I told you how many? I said this is the second most combination in the whole Quran, right? That He is غَفُورٌ Rahim. That is consistent with what Allah is going to tell us in this ayah about Himself and what He's told us other places. So then when those who come, جَاءَكَ الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ, those who believe in the ayat of Allah come to you, then say salam alaikum to them. Allah has written, your Lord has written over Himself or on Himself rahmah, mercy. Didn't we say this before? Yeah. Allah has laws for Himself. And one of His laws is that He is mercy overwhelms His anger, right? No. And for this reason we see He is Ghafurun Rahim, constantly forgiving and extremely merciful to the believers. And from His mercy is that whoever does an evil deed in ignorance, and then he repents before he dies, min ba'dihi, afterwards, and corrects himself, wa aslaha, then He is, for that individual, forgiving him. And Rahim, especially merciful to the believers. وَكَذَلِكَ نُفَصِّلُ الْآيَاتِ وَلِتَسْتَبِينَ سَبِيلُ الْمُجْرِمِينَ. Another reason for this Quran, Allah is telling us, and likewise, we break down, nufassilu. We break down, it's like nufassilu is like an MRI. Okay? What does an MRI do? It breaks things down into slices so you can see everything that's inside. Is that what it does, right? Everybody know anything you know about medicine? This type of mirrored imaging, it is better than an x-ray because it shows every single thing. And it breaks it in parts. Sharhan. Allah is telling us, and likewise, we make fussl, we clarify all these ayat. Litastabina, in order to make it bayyina. Okay? Wadih, clear. What is He making clear? Do you think? Make clear sabilul mujrimina, the way, in another now, subulul mujrimin, the ways of the criminals. Okay? Why? يا أخي اتق الله فينا. شكرا. لتستبين سبيل المجرمين, to make the way of the criminal clear to us. Why is it important for us to know the way of the criminal? To avoid it. We study evil not for evil's sake, but to turn away from it. Okay? To avoid it. Because the only one that avoids evil is the one that knows it. Okay? You go to a neighborhood, if you're from the hood, you learn quickly what you should not do. In which hood you can't do it in. Right? Or you will get murdered. So it becomes very pressing on you to know that. I remember I grew up in Brooklyn. I thought I knew all the streets. Then I moved to California and was in LA. My senses were up on 100% because I knew I don't know this hood. You know, and the people were dying left and right. And I didn't know what they were doing wrong or right. So I had to pay, because I know what was going on in New York. I can understand New York, Jersey, Philly, Connecticut. That's our area. But when I went over there, their life is different. Their rules are different. So you had to learn what was correct. In New York, we say, peace. You can't do this in California. It's a gang sign. Not to us. This means clearly says peace, right? No. It means you're about to throw up signs. So you just get the point? Yeah. You have to learn what is wrong so you can avoid it. And for this reason, he told us all those stories about Bani Israel. And so we can know what not to do when we get guidance. Does that make sense? قُلْ إِنِّي نُهِيتُ أَنْ أَعْبُدَ الَّذِينَ تَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ. Say, I have in me, it's emphasizing, I have been forbidden, nuhitu, I have been forbidden from worshiping those who worship, to worship those things that you call on besides Allah. That's haram for me. This is our stance. قُلْ لَا أَتَّبِعُ أَهْوَاءَكُمْ قَدْ ضَلَلْتُ إِذًا وَمَا أَنَا مِنَ الْمُحْتَدِينَ. He says, say, I am not going to follow your desires. If I did, I would have gone astray. ضَلَلْتُ, I'd have been ضَلَالَ in that case, and I would not have been amongst those who have accepted the guidance. So we're clarifying where our stance is. Again, this is Aqidah, our stance. قُلْ إِنِّي عَلَى بَيِّنَةٍ مِّن رَبِّي وَكَذَّبْتُمْ بِهِ. Say, the fact of the matter is with me, I am upon clear بَيِّنَةٍ مِّن رَبِّي, clear guidance from my Lord. وَكَذَّبْتُمْ بِهِ, and you are denying him. You're rejecting that, him and the guidance. مَا عِنْدِي مَا تَسْتَعْجِلُونَ بِهِ. I don't have nothing that I'm rushing to put down. Why? Because I know that the hour's coming. I ain't in no rush. Okay? I ain't got to force you to do nothing. I have a lot of anxiety to make you do anything. Okay? إِنِ الْحُكْمُ إِلَّا لِلَّهِ. The hukm, the order is for Allah. That's why I ain't in no rush. You get it? It's for Allah to decide when and what. يَقُصُّ الْحَقَّ. He tells us the truth. وَهُوَ خَيْرُ الْفَاسِلِينَ. And he is the best one to break things down and make it clear. قُلْ لَوْ أَنَّ عِنْدِي مَا تَسْتَعْجِلُونَ بِهِ لَقُضِيَ الْأَمْرُ بَيْنِي وَبَيْنَكُمْ وَاللَّهُ أَعْلَمُ بِالظَّالِمِينَ. He says, say, if I did have the ability to rush things, to make things happen, meaning like I'm going to say who goes to Jannah and Jahannam. Okay, now that's in my power. Look, I'd have finished it. If I could say, look, me and my homies, we going to Jannah, and everybody that we don't like, all our haters, they going to Jahannam, why would we stay here? We'd say, okay, let's just go, man. It would have been finished. The issue been finished between us. However, Allah, He knows best who is a dhalim and who would be a dhalim. Who would be a dhalim if the power was put in their hands. Okay? We don't have enough knowledge to know who should go into Jannah and who shouldn't. وعنده مفاتح الغيب لا يعلمها إلا هو. And Allah has the keys to the unseen. No one knows these things except Him, Allah. And it's going to come again in Surah Al-Furqan. It's going to explain those things. وَيَعْلَمُ مَا فِي الْبَرِّ وَالْبَحْرِ. And He knows everything that's in the earth and out in the sea. And they say what's in the sea is more than what's on earth. وَمَا تَسْقُطُ مِنْ وَرَقَةٍ إِلَّا يَعْلَمُهَا وَلَا حَبَّةٍ فِي ظُلُمَاتِ الْأَرْضِ وَلَا رَطْبٍ وَلَا يَابِسٍ إِلَّا فِي كِتَابٍ مُبِينٍ. And there is not a leaf that falls off of a tree except that Allah knows about it. And there is not a seed that's in the darkness of the earth, and no plant that is wet, meaning it's ripe, and no plant or fruit that is dry, except that it's clear in a book that's all laid out with Allah. He knows everything. Again, what's the objective of this surah? To let us know the power of Allah, the decree of Allah, the detail Allah has with His creation, that it's His creation, to clarify what our aqidah should be. The ilmullah. Good, we should get finished. We only have 2 more pages to do. What time is it? Okay, good. We can finish this, inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Inshallah, we're finishing. وهو الذي يتوفاكم بالليل ويعلم ما جرحتم بالنهار ثم يبعثكم فيه ليقضى أجل مسمى ثم إليه مرجعكم ثم ينبئكم بما كنتم تعملون. And Allah, He is the one who يتوفاكم بالليل, causes you to die at night. Takes your soul away from you at night. This is science. He's explaining to us that we die at nighttime, and He knows what you earn. جرحتم يعني كسبتم بالنهار. All the things you gain, all the things you do in the daytime, then you will be resurrected and brought back to Him. ليقضى أجلا مسمى, for you to complete the particular time frame that you were appointed. Meaning, He sends you back in the morning, okay? Resurrects you in the morning. So we can't say we don't believe in a resurrection or in death or in life after death. Every day we die. No matter what you do, you can't stay awake. And if you get older than 50, you can't stay awake 24 hours straight without having some bad effect on you. You'd be like a toddler. You see a toddler get tired, just falls out, right? That's me, you know? So, we die though. There's nothing you can do. And that same way, we're going to die one day and not come back. And likewise, when we're dead in the sleep, what happens? We're in another dimension, not like this world. We can do things that we can't do in this world, right? So it's a different whole world. So why can't we believe in the life in the grave? When we experience that every night. And then we're resurrected. How much sleep you need and want, you're forced back into this reality. We even try not to stay. We try to stay back in the sleep world, and we get forced back into this world, right? Likewise, we're going to be resurrected. And we can't say we didn't know, because it happens every day. We can't be that blind, that unmindful, right? And then we're going to be returned back. Then we go back to Allah. And then we will be told about what we did in this world. How many times did He say it in this surah? This is like the 4th or the 3rd time. And He is irresistible over His slave. You guys remember that? And He sends over us guardians, angels. You have a guardian angel on your right and your left. They're writing down what you do. But there's a guardian angel in front of you and behind you as well. Making sure you're where you're supposed to be. Making sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and that nothing happens to you that wasn't written. حتى إذا جاء أحدكم الموت توفته رسلنا وهم لا يفرطون. Until the moment comes where the time of death comes for one of us. And then they snatch our souls. And Rasulullah, the angels. And they never fail to do their job. Nobody escapes. No one's going to get out of this life alive. That's the thing about it. So don't be scared. You're not going to live through this. You get my point? And if you accept that, it makes it easier. ثُمَّ رُدُّوا إِلَى اللَّهِ مَوْلَاهُمُ الْحَقِّ. And then we will all be returned back to Allah, our Mawla Haq, our master for real, our real master. أَلَا لَهُ الْحُكْمُ وَهُوَ أَسْرَعُ الْحَاسِبِينَ. Don't you see that he has the rule? The rule is with him. The authority is with him. And he is the quick to call people to account. قل من ينجيكم من ظلمات البر والبحر تدعونه تضرعا وخفية لئن أنجانا من هذه لنكونن من الشاكرين. Say, who is the one that says, who's the one that saves you? Saves you from the darkness of the land and the darkness of the ocean when you're in this darkness calling on Allah in humility, out of fear. If you just save us in anjana min hada, you save us from this time, we will definitely be grateful for the rest of our life, right? I'll never do it again, right? I'll act right from now on. قُلِ اللَّهُ يُنَجِّيكُم مِّنْهَا وَمِن كُلِّ كَرْبٍ ثُمَّ أَنْتُمْ تُشْرِكُونَ. Say, it is Allah who saves you from that fitna, that challenge that you have, that fear, and from every anxiety, every curb, every hardship that you ever had. And then still you turn around and make shirk with him. قُلْ هُوَ الْقَادِرُ عَلَىٰ أَنْ يَبْعَثَ عَلَيْكُمْ عَذَابًا مِّن فَوْقِكُمْ أَوْ مِن تَحْتِ أَرْجُلِكُمْ أَوْ يَلْبِسَكُمْ شِيَعًا وَيُذِيقَ بَعْضُكُمْ بَأْسَ بَعْضٍ انظر كيف نصرف الآيات لعلهم يفقهون. Allah says, say, Allah, He is the one that has the qadir, He is the ability to resurrect us all and give us a punishment from above us and from under our feet, or rip us apart, okay? Or yudhiqu, and make some of us get punished by others, right? Send other humans to punish us in our life, in this life. Look how we give you and turn the eye out, give you different examples so that you can have some fiqh. لَعَلَّهُمْ يَفْقَهُونَ. وَكَذَّبَ بِهِ قَوْمُكَ وَهُوَ الْحَقَّ. And you deny this. كَذَّبَ بِهِ قَوْمُكَ. Your people deny this and it's the truth. قُلْ لَسْتُ عَلَيْكُمْ بِوَكِيلٍ. Say, this is our stance, I am not sent over here to be in charge of you. I am not here to force you to do nothing. That's what it means. لِكُلِّ نَبَأٍ مُسْتَقَرٍ وَسَوْفَ تَعْلَمُونَ. Every one of these prophecies has a particular time that it's going to go down. Mustaqir, it's already firm. It's already established. When you get to that time, it's going to happen. That naba, that prophecy. And sawfa ta'lamun, and you will soon know the real about that. وَإِذَا رَأَيْتَ الَّذِينَ, again, you see this. وَإِذَا رَأَيْتَ الَّذِينَ يَخُوضُونَ فِي آيَاتِنَا فَأَعْرِضْ عَنْهُمْ حَتَّى يَخُوضُوا فِي حَدِيثٍ غَيْرِهِ. And when you see those talking nonsense about the ayat of Allah, then turn away from them until they talk about something else. وَإِمَّا يُنْسِيَنَّكَ الشَّيْطَانُ فَلَا تَقْعُدْ بَعْدَ الذِّكْرَ مَعَ الْقَوْمِ الظَّالِمِينَ. It says, and when and if Shaitan made you forget, you just lost your train of thought and you were sitting with these people, then don't sit with them after you remember. Don't ever sit with people who are oppressors. Okay? وَمَا عَلَى الَّذِينَ يَتَّقُونَ مِنْ حِسَابِهِمْ مِنْ شَيْءٍ وَلَكِنْ ذِكْرَى لَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَّقُونَ. I'm doing this way because he says we have to go. And it's not upon those people who have taqwa. They're not going to carry the weight of somebody else's on their hisab. Nothing. However, the reminder, so you remind the people so that perhaps they might have taqwa. I'm going to try to go to the rest of the page before he complains. وَذَرِ الَّذِينَ اتَّخَذُوا دِينَهُمْ لَعِبًا وَلَهْوًا وَغَرَّتْهُمُ الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا وَذَكِّرْ بِهِ أَن تُبْسَلَ نَفْسٌ بِمَا كَسَبَتْ لَيْسَ لَهَا مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ وَلِيٌّ وَلَا شَفِيعٌ وَإِن تَعْدِلْ كُلَّ عَدْلٍ لَا يُؤْخَذْ مِنْهَا أولئك الذين أبسلوا بما كسبوا لهم شراب من حميم وعذاب أليم بما كانوا يكفرون. And ذَرِ الَّذِينَ اتَّخَذُوا, leave those people who take your deen as a game and some distraction, playing games. وَغَرَّتْهُمْ, and they have been distracted by the life of this dunya, this temporary life. And remind people with the Quran that they will تُبْسَلُ نَفْسٌ, that every soul will have to carry the weight of what it earned. Okay? Min dunillah, they won't have anyone besides Allah as a protector or an intercessor. And if they try to ransom, ta'dil, they try to ransom every type of something else, put anything else, it won't be accepted from them. Nothing will be taken as a ransom. These are those who they're going to be destroyed because of what they did. Their actions are going to, the consequence of their actions are going to make them destroy themselves. They will have as a drink boiling water to drink. And a punishment that is painful because they were kafirs. Okay? 3 more ayah. قُلْ نَدْعُوا مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ مَا لَا يَنْفَعُنَا وَلَا يَضُرُّنَا وَنُرَدُّ عَلَىٰ أَعْقَابِنَا بَعْدَ إِذْ هَدَانَا اللَّهُ كَالَّذِي اسْتَحْوَتْهُ الشَّيَاطِينُ فِي الْأَرْضِ حَيْرَانٌ لَهُ أَصْحَابٌ يَدْعُونَهُ إِلَى الْهُدَى ائْتِنَا قُلْ إِنَّ هُدَى اللَّهِ هُوَ الْهُدَى وَأُمِرْنَا لِنُسْلِمَ لِرَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. He says, say, are we going to call on something besides Allah? That thing that has no benefit to us and cannot harm us, meaning by itself. We harm ourselves by worshiping it. And we're going to go back on our heels after Allah has guided us, like the one who is like Shaitan has confused, has tortured this individual, and so now he's walking through the earth, hayran, confused. He doesn't know where he's going. Hayran means he's dalla ala tariq. He goes a few feet to the right, few feet to the left, turn around in a circle. He doesn't know where he's going. He has companions that are calling him to the guidance. Come to us, come to us. Say, the guidance of Allah, that's the real guidance. And I have been ordered لِنُسْلِمَ لِرَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ, to submit and surrender myself to the Lord of everything. وَأَنْ أَقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَاتَّقُوا, and to establish the salah and to have taqwa. وَهُوَ الَّذِي إِلَيْهِ تُحْشَرُونَ, and He, Allah, is the one who's going to gather us together. وَهُوَ الَّذِي خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ بِالْحَقِّ, and Allah, He is the one who created the universe and everything on earth. بِالْحَقِّ, with the reality that we find in it. وَيَوْمَ يَقُولُ كُونْ فَيَكُونْ, and when He says something, the day He says be, it is. قَوْلُهُ الْحَقِّ, everything He says is reality. وَلَهُ الْمُلْكِ, and He has all the dominion, the dominance and authority in the land. يَوْمَ يُنْفَخُ فِي الصُّورِ, and the day that the trumpet is blown. Al-Mulk, liman al-Mulk, lillahi, for Allah. Okay? Alimul ghaybi wa shahada, He is the one that knows all the secrets, and He's a witness to everything. Wa huwa al-hakimul khabir, and He is wise in all ways and well informed, and khabir yani aware of everything that's going on. There's another word, I couldn't think of it right now. Astaghfirullah. The English doesn't do justice to the Arabic. But why do I want to stop here? Because at the next point we start the story of Ibrahim. We stop here. But this is a threshold moment, people. The surah is not going to go back to what it was before. Everything we covered so far is our aqeedah. It's telling us the qadr of Allah. It gave us snatches of pictures of what's going to happen Yawm al-Qiyamah, right? Now that may happen again, but now watch, the tone is going to change. So when you go back and look at just what came up to the story of Ibrahim, it's very meticulous and specific. Allah has the mulk of the heavens, the universe, and the world. It all belongs to Him. It is His Mashiach. What He wants happens. Period. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم. إن شاء الله tomorrow we start the stories, and hopefully we can almost finish the surah. إن شاء الله. قوموا إلى طعامكم وصلاتكم.